Geek is a free to back here again with another how to play. Today we're going to look at how to play this game, Yomo. I believe that's how it's pronounced, the European name. I don't know what it means though. And unfortunately the rules I have are not in English. That's what came with the game. This game is from White Goblin Games. Designed by Michael Palm and Lucas Zach. Also from Game Factory, and originally, the original version is from 10 Traders, which is, I think it's a game shop that these guys are involved with. And it plays 2 to 6 players, ages 8 and up in about 30 minutes. I believe there is an English, there might be an English version, I'm not 100% sure. I can't recall, but it's the one I got. Now, in this game, you get a deck of cards. Decent enough quality, smooth plastic coated finish. Cards ranging from 00 to 69. Each group of 10 cards is in a different color. And there's a bunch of special cards, as you can probably tell from the symbols. You also have this one black token, which is the Yomo marker. And when you go out, if you go out first, then you get to collect this, and you keep playing until I believe everyone has gone out. And you also got these yellow tokens, which are or chips, which you get for winning a trick, and also for collecting any card that is a 10. That ends in a 0. So the 00, 10, 20, 30, etc., etc. Any card that ends in a 0, if you collect it, is going to give you a chip. But if you have any 10s still left in your hand at the end of the round, you lose 1 point. So I'll put these chips aside. The cards you're going to use are going to depend on the player count. For 2 players, you're going to go up until 29. For 3 until 39. For 4 until 49. For 5 until 59. And for 6, you use all cards. So let's just do all the cards. Let's do 6 players. That's 70 cards total. And we're going to deal out 10 cards per player. And you just randomly determine the start player however you want. 3. Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. 6 players. I won't get confused at all. We'll just play a little bit, show you how to play the game, and explain some of the special cards. The special cards, and the rest of the cards can go away, are any card that ends in a 0, a 5, or any card that's a double digit like 11, 22, 33, etc., etc. The 55 and the 00 count as both. The 00 counts as both a 10 because it ends in a 0 and is a double digit. And the 55 counts as both a 5 since it ends in a 5 and a double digit. So I won't explain that in a bit. So you randomly determine the start player. You're going to play the game, by the way, until somebody has hit 20 points or more. Once that happens, then the game ends. And you're going to play this in rounds, again, until somebody gets those 20 points. And so every round, you're going to collect these, and then you'll score them on a piece of paper. I think the original version had a score pad. This one does not. Also, the original version had cardboard tokens, as you can kind of see on this picture, that had, actually this picture doesn't show it, but they had cardboard tokens. I think they were cardboard with like a white star on them, and a much nicer black Yomo token that said Yomo on it. This one, just cheap plastic chips, it is what it is. Anyways, so let's say I start. I'm going to play a card. Let's say I play the 21. This is not a typical trick-taking game. There's no must-follow or anything like that. They call it tricks, but not really. The next player is going to play a card, and maybe they play Well, um, I want to explain some of these cards that they have, the special cards. The fives, I'll explain a bit. The double digits can be played at any time, and the way this game works is I played a 21. This guy's gonna play. Let's say he plays a 63. That's a pretty big gap, and the idea is other players now have to play cards, and we're gonna go around the table playing cards between this gap. However, if you play a double digit, you can play a double digit card at any time, and it can be outside the gap. If you play a card that has a 5 in it, like this 15, you can change the gap. I can make this gap bigger or smaller. You can kind of play it on either side. Anything that ends in a 0, you get either 10s. Again, we'll give you 1 point if you win them and collect them. But if you have any left in your hand, they're worth -1 point. And again, the double 0 is both a 10 and a double. And 55 is both a double and a 5. So anyways, he played this. So now other players have to try to play within this gap or change the gap. So for instance, you can see the star is the one with the zeros. This is one's that in a 5. And the doubles are a infinity symbol. So let's just say he decides to play within the gap. He plays a 37. This guy's going to go. Maybe he plays a 59. This guy plays, let's say he plays a 62. This guy, he's going to play, let's say he plays a 34. It comes to me. I'm going to try to play within the gap. I will. And you know what? I'm going to change this to a 25. Decrease the gap. And this guy's going to go. He plays a 36. This guy. And again, the 10s. Yeah, maybe he thinks he's going to win, so he plays this 50 in there, which is a 10. And this guy's going to go. He plays a 43. This guy, maybe he changes the gap, makes it 35 now. And so this guy, he's running out of cards he can play. He cannot play any of these because they're below the gap. He can't play 68 because it's above the gap. So he can play, he plays a 60, which is a 10. Just keep that in mind. Comes to me. I believe, I don't really have this in the rules I wrote down, but I believe you can only decrease the gap. You can't increase it. I could be mistaken, so we'll avoid. Well, maybe he plays the 65. I play the 65. Next guy's going to go. He's got a 44, which he can play at any time. He has no choice. He's got nothing else he can play, so he's going to play this 44. Try to stay alive. At any time, you can pass, even if you have playable cards, but, you know, I'll just keep playing. This guy says I'll play 58. This guy will play 47. This guy comes along, he says I'll play 45, reducing the gap. So now you're going to play cards between 35 and 45, which means this guy is going to pass. I don't leave him face up so I can recall that he passed. And I will play a 42. This guy will pass. This guy will play a 40. This guy has to pass. This guy will play a 41. I will play a 38. The other guy's already passed. It comes to this guy. He has to pass. This guy will also pass. And so I win the trick. collect all these cards. Oops, I get 1 point for winning the trick, and then let's see how many 10s I want in here. There's 1, 2, 3. I think that was it. 3. So I get an additional 3 chips. And these other cards are discarded. And since I won, I get to start, I guess. And I'll play a 46. And then this guy says, you know what, let's play a 12. So there's a new gap. These are called limitation cards. This guy is already in trouble because he's got nothing he can play. Well, technically, I guess he could play the 5. But it's not within the gap. So he can't actually play it. So he's passing already. Because he has everything under 12 and above 46. So he's in a bit of trouble here. He's passing. This guy, let's see, he's got some 60s, 50s, a 49. He also has to pass. He could play this 00. It can be played any time because it's a double. But he's not gonna. It's 10 points. He can get rid of later on, perhaps collect. Then again, you know, some people are starting to run out of cards. This guy's got 50s, 60s. He also has to pass. Wow. Well, this guy can play. He's got quite a few that he can play here. So he's going to get on in this and play. I technically this one could go outside the gap, but he decided not to play that one. Maybe this guy played outside the gap. Maybe he played this 55, so he's still in. We'll just say he did that. This guy's going to play 31 against me. I'm in a little bit of trouble, but not too much. I'll play a 39. This guy's still in. He'll play a 32. He can play all of his cards, actually. These guys are passed. This guy now has to pass. This guy maybe plays a 33. I will play a 13. This guy will play a 26. This guy will play, let's say he plays a 14. I must now pass. This guy will maybe play 15 to reduce the gap. And now this guy also has to pass. And so he wins a trick, so he gets to collect one of these. And were there any 10s played? There were not, so he does not get any extra chips. You discard those, and you continue playing. So maybe he plays 16, and this guy plays, let's say, a 54. Create a pretty big gap. This guy's like, yes, I'll play it there. And you just keep playing like this until somebody goes out and has no cards left. So this guy, he plays this 48. I will play pass. Actually, here's what I will do, because I cannot play. This guy plays the 18. This guy will pass. He could play the 5, but he's going to pass. This guy will play 49. This guy is going to play, let's say, a 52. This guy is going to pass. This guy plays a 24, and he goes out. Let's see. Since he goes out, he gets this to indicate that he went out first. We continue playing, and this guy's going to pass. I mean, technically, he could play the 00. Might as well. And then this guy passes, and then this guy's already passed. So then this guy wins the trick. He also gets 110, the 00. He gets 2 tips. And he's out. I believe you keep playing until only one person has cards left. I believe. I don't have all the rules, unfortunately. But actually, I just wrote down you continue until someone says out. Anyways, once a round is over, you will score up the points you have, 1 point for each chip. And I believe just, I don't believe you get anything extra for the Yomo, do you? I don't recall. I think it's just for going out first. It doesn't give any points. And, yeah. Now, also, once you go, once everyone passes, you cannot go again. You cannot play 2 cards in a row. Just to point that out. But you keep playing until somebody has 20 points. Like I said, at the end of the round, you're going to write this down on a piece of paper or a score pad if you have the score pad version. You keep playing until somebody hits 20 points or more. Most points at that time wins. It's a pretty interesting little game. And that is that. That's Yomo. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. This one is a bit harder to find. I got this from a European shop. It's definitely harder to find. I think I got it from Spell Spool. Anyways, that is that. We'll see you. Thanks for watching.